So now we will be moving on to our next panel, which is unlocking short format video synergies for entertainment and social platforms. Now, short videos have emerged as a new format, but how does one differentiate what are the key mantras that one should follow to create winning short video films? This is still in its early stage, so one needs to wait and watch how this format will become popular. Also, what goes into making great short video films? So discussing this topic, as a moderator, we have Mr. Uday Sodhi, Senior Partner, Kurate Digital Consultancy, Mr. Abhishek Joshi, Head of Marketing and Business Partnerships, MX Player, Sumit Ghosh, Co-founder and CEO, Chingari App, Shivank Agarwal, CEO, Metro TV, Manish Srivastav, Head of Marketing, Ghana, Devika Sharma, Director Sales, Glance and Roposo InMobi, and Sameer Vora, CMO, Daily Hunt. I would request Mr. Sodhi to take this conversation forward.
Okay, there we go. Thank you so much. And it's great to have this panel here. I hope everybody has joined. There you are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. So we're all here. Looking forward to an exciting conversation on short video synergies for entertainment social platform. And we have a great panel here. As we start this conversation, I wanted to, basically look at this panel and say there are obviously 3 different types of players in the market today, and we have a good representation from all of them here. The first group is the OTT platforms, and Abhishek and Manish are here. Manish is from Ghana and Abhishek from MX Player, and they come with great experience in terms of building businesses in the OTT space, and they'll tell us more about what happens in the short video space. There's a second category where we're seeing people coming into the short video space, which is the social platforms. And we've got Sameer from Daily Hunt and Devika here from Glance here. And there's the whole innovative new category or new players who are coming into the short video space. And we have Sumit from Chingari here and Shivank here from Metro. So I'm going to start off quickly and say, Abhishek, why don't you start off? I want each one to take 2 minutes to say, what do you see? What's so exciting about the short video category? Why are consumers lapping it up? And as an entry strategy into this category, what is your differentiation? What do you bring to the table which will make it an exciting, large enough business?
Thanks, Uday. I envy your background. Hi, everyone. MX Tagatak is what, 8 weeks old now, and the first thing that struck us was the amount of engagement that the short video format can get. And at Tagatak, we want to give content creators and digital enthusiasts a fun space. I mean, it's a fun space to experiment and build their own success stories. Uday, we believe that the key to succeeding in this space is empowering the creators with the best tools to unleash their, inherent creativity that all of us have. I mean, I firmly believe that all of us are creators individually. We make stories almost every hour of the day. Every content creator on the platform gets access to a wide variety of the content creation tools, like a well-organized and exhaustive background music library, advanced beautification tools, new and innovative effects, filters, all of that, and it is truly a mobile-first content creation platform or an opportunity that enables the talented content creators to unleash what they have to offer, and we give them a fair shot of being successful.
Perfect. Manish, would you like to add? How do you see yourself getting into this market? A very strong audio platform. Why would you want to get into this, and where do you see your differentiation?
Sure. So, first of all, let me start by saying that when, as Abhishek has already said, that this is clearly a very exciting space because there is a heavy sense of engagement that was there on the short video platform that really made us interested as well. But what really has been slightly different in our case than compared to probably a lot of other players, the way they have gone vertical in that sense. We were very, very sure about one thing, which is that this is not a feature we are launching. This is not a product that we are launching. What we intend to do is to develop an ecosystem, the ecosystem that will have creators on one end, that will have the viewers at the other end, and most importantly, the moment the angle of monetization hits in, the wheels start turning much better, right? So from that perspective, our thought was very clear that how are we bringing value to the short video platform, a short video structure as it will evolve, and the ecosystem that will evolve. And we really felt that with the long-standing relationship that we have with artists, given the fact that we have a lot of singers who have been associated with us in multiple different forms, and while we're doing all of the work around music, there are also choreographers, there are also podcasters now available with us who are excited about the whole proposition on Ghana. For them, it will be a great value because they will now suddenly have a platform at scale to really showcase and pose themselves in a bigger manner. That was one. Secondly, and most importantly, the fact that when you're trying to build in an ecosystem, it becomes important that you have a certain peer of creators who are creating for you, because clearly the second run creator takes cue from them and then it runs around, right? That's the whole philosophy of virality and everything. And that's why we said we would not want to reinvent the wheel. We would want to see how value can be created for the current user, who can also now see short video, who can also create short video. And in the sense, you are trying to make a product which is a all-encompassing product with music and podcast and short videos, all of them coming in together. And the whole point of the working is that as we go along, people will start finding value, their number of sessions go up, their engagement goes up, and that's why things kick in. And when monetization comes in, and given that we've been monetizing the platform for a long time now, and we have our own set relationships, that should also really help moving in the wheels much faster. So in that sense, our entry strategy was slightly different.
Very nice. And I think that makes sense because both MX Player and Ghana come with very strong understanding of content and are really aggressive on the content side. Now let's move on to the platform, guys. Devika and Samir, maybe Devika can start off and say, you're obviously coming with huge amount of consumer base, and you're bringing in a huge amount of consumer base. How do you see yourself being different from the other people who are coming in with large consumer bases? And I'm talking of the larger social platforms out there. How do you yourself standing in that crowd and making a mark for yourself? Obviously, Glance is very large, but I'm saying there still needs to be an engagement or an entry strategy which brought you into this.
So Glance is actually a separate platform, Uday. While there are synergies between Glance and Reposo, we are looking at Reposo as a standalone platform, and we have our own individual strategy for that. So the way we look at it is that short video is frankly the new normal. That's how people communicate. That's how people express themselves. People have created it as a profession. And the number of young people, older people as well, who are joining that bandwagon is skyrocketing by the day. So keeping that in mind, I think the first thing that we've been focusing on in a very big way is the fact that we want to be a vernacular platform. We already publish content in 12 different languages, and we hope to keep adding to that. We're focusing on a very, very diverse set of users that exist in the country. And we're trying to cater to them by recruiting as many local creators as possible as far as content is concerned, right? So the fact that we're vernacular is the first focus area for us. The second is that we believe in promoting a diverse plethora of content. So singing and dancing, very typically entertainment-led content, is obviously very popular. But we're looking at adding different, we already have, and we're looking to add to that, a diverse range of content. So for example, we have content related to mythology or local journalism. And what we do on Reposo is we create communities on these content buckets. and therefore, different types of content have, a fair share, a fair speak on the platform to get discovered and obviously drive engagement for our users. And the third thing is, and this is a really big one for us, we want to be a platform that publishes clean and safe content. We don't want any of our users to ever feel embarrassed about using Reposo in front of a friend or family, etc. So we have a fairly strong, technological backing, an AI/ML, a two-step check process. The first one, is an AI/ML check that weeds out content which is undesirable, so to speak. And then this is followed by a manual check that happens on all content that goes onto the app. So these three things, are our key sort of pillars for growth, and they've been delivering pretty well for us so far.
Super, super. Samir, you want to take over? You obviously have a very large customer base to feed.
Actually, I think Devika kind of queued that up for me, but I'll just, I think what Abhishek and Manish also said is not incorrect, and they're good starting points. But for us, I'm just splitting it and, going out and saying that, for us, it's creator first, content forward, and consumer focused, for lack of a better word. What do I mean by all three? Let me quickly go through. Creator first means, I think we've gone ahead and, done the needful and getting the top 200 creators that Bharat currently has. Just look at the numbers, and I think all of them have broadly moved to us. In terms of being, helping that creator network, I think we've gone ahead and done the needful with regards to the music labels. We've got the big four signed up. When it comes to content, being content forward, I think we understand AI/ML like nobody else. And for us, luckily, the point that Devika was mentioning, for us, we are known to be vernacular. So that allows us a deep understanding of what we want to push to whom and at that kind of scale. So that automatically makes us, deeply consumer focused as well. So for us, I think this was in a lot of ways a gadbandhan of sorts. Think of it like this, that we got the creators, we had the music, and you know what?
Language is native to you.
Yeah, it's native to us. And, for us, if anything, we understand the best is maybe vernacular and the way we play that game. And I think AI/ML, per se is bread and butter for us. So it would be a travesty for us to not do this. And hence, I think we've just gone ahead and do this at scale. And I think that's where we are as an entry strategy.
Excellent. And we have two challengers here to all these big guys. We have two challengers here. We have Shivank here who runs Mitro. Shivank, you want to start off and explain your entry strategy? You're on mute, so you want to please.
Hey, Uday. First of all, thanks for having me here. And the good thing about Mitro has been it has been launched before TikTok ban, and we've never been relying on any gap in the market. We wanted to create our own niche, and that's what we launched Mitro. And the idea about to launch Mitro was to create micro entrepreneurs. And what we see is there's no depth of skills in India, right? From acting to singing to dance. The idea is to give a big platform to all these skills. And what we say in India is everything is 0 and 1. Either you're so skillful, or so lucky you'll end up in Bollywood, or you have no scope to show your talent. So that's the reason Mitro becomes very important, a platform wherein people who want to showcase their skill and want to earn their living out of their skills, that we can become a big platform for them. Apart from that, we have recently launched categories and communities. So the idea is people of different communities, they can form a group together, they can collaborate in a much better way. For example, dance and music has become two major categories for us, and we are seeing a lot of engagement around those categories. And when you try to show your skills to the people of like-minded, and like interest, the satisfaction or gratification that you get is, massive. So that's what you have seen. And of course, the idea is to, the launch of the Mitro has seen, a great participation from tier 2 and tier 3 cities. So we are driving on that wave as well. And, for these people, the different videos, for example, fishing or, carpentry becomes very important for this, audience. So communities becomes very important, and we should be known for the communities, and more power to the users so as to decide which community they want to be part of and which videos they want to see. So that's been an idea for us.
Thank you, Shivan. Sumit, you want to add to this?
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, first of all, thanks Uday for having me in this panel. Chingari, as Shivang mentioned, Chingari has a very similar story. We, launched way before this anti-China or TikTok ban. In fact, we, technically launched the platform in 2018, and we were building it. So we initially wanted to do a video meme platform because we saw that users in those days they had 4G data because Reliance came in, but they had nothing to share online. So from there to today, as a short video app, a lot of evolution has happened in the product. uh, I mean, in, all the other as the other platforms who have launched recently, they're probably using some SDK, camera SDK from other companies. Whereas at Chingari, we have built the entire technology ground up. In fact, we have recently launched the AR filters, which are natively developed. I think in the short video space, Chingari is the only platform with AR filters, where we allow creators to use AR filters. So we are very focused on building a world-class creator-first app and give them the best quality, creation experience. So we recently also did a deal with T-Series, where we have T-Series music on the library of Chingari, so they can use T-Series content to create engaging content. And along with that, as the other panelists mentioned, so this is not just a creation play. A lot of engineering has to go. A deep tech engineering has to be done, especially in the AI and ML side, where you need to understand, the viewer, what the viewer wants in terms of his taste in short video, and that is where we are really bullish about, building deep tech AI ML algorithms to really be able to predict their taste and deliver them the best possible videos in various categories. In Chingari, as a product, we haven't really differentiated the videos in various categories because we want the algorithm to do that. We don't want users to tell us that okay, we are interested in cooking or dance or music. We want to understand based on their viewing experiences that what they are really watching, and then and let the ML do the job of recommending them videos. And we are a very fresh platform. Technically, we have grown in the last 3 months. We started growing before the TikTok ban, and the TikTok ban obviously gave all of us a lot of headroom to grow. And yeah, we come up with a lot of fresh ideas now.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You were also mentioned by Prime Minister Modi's app selection thing. So good. So I think we have a great panel here. Now, when I listened to all of you, I picked up 3-4 keywords which obviously resonate across, and I'd like to deep dive into each one of them. There are 3-4 keywords and exciting things that are happening. Obviously, one word which keeps coming out is AI/ML, and that's one thing that seems to be common across. There's obviously some engineering that needs to go into it, and that is the consumer side of it. What is the consumer experience? And on the other side, I'm hearing a lot of content creator programs. So whether it is programs, whether it is communities, whether it is engaging with the content creators, I think that's the other side of the coin, so to say. Now, what I'd like to hear from all of you is how are you doing it differently? How is each one addressing the AI ML consumer side or the engineering consumer side and giving a great experience to the consumers on one side, and on the other side, motivating enough creators to come onto the platform, because obviously it's not just the 6 of you, there are probably 20 others who are trying to get into this space. So how are you going to win that battle with bringing in consumers and giving them a good experience and bringing in creators and giving them good money at the end of the day? So let's start reverse now. Let's start with Sumit.
Sure. In Chingari, the business model is about sharing, creating a community where we want to share revenues with our creators. So what we do is whenever a brand comes to Chingari and wants to do, content promotion, we take a cut of, X percentage, and Y percentage we give to the creators. So this way, it's a long term, it's a long term play for us. I mean, this can be continued in future as well, and the creators are happy because they get paid for the content that they are creating. So over time, as you know, as the platform grows and as more brands find value in UGC related promotion. So I mean, historically, if you see so far, brands have the only way brands have advertised is one-way communication, where they create an ad, push it on television, on social media. But with platforms, with the UGC platforms like us, now brands have an opportunity to do two-way ads or two-way communications, where UGC content creators, they can talk about brands. So without naming the brands on this panel, I would like to just say that we are experimenting this type of format where brands come on board and our UGC creators are creating UGC hashtag with the brand's hashtag, and then money is getting split between them and us. And at Chingari, we feel this can go a long way, enabling both the platform and the creators to make money.
Good. Shamak?
Yeah, I think for us, creator community development becomes very important, and it's our responsibility. And when we say, creating a sustainable model, we want to take a step back, and assure that people have enough skills, and we are providing a right platform and guidance to the creators to create the content. Of course, everybody has a talent. The channelize that talent becomes our responsibility, and that's what we have been doing. We have been handholding and working with them, giving the feedback on what went wrong with the previous video and how can they improve upon and give the response from the user. And that's what we have been doing currently. And the idea is, when we talk about monetization, I said the first word is micro entrepreneurs, what we want to create. And the idea is to have the sustainable model wherein at one end we are the brands, and at the other end we are the creators, and we form a bridge between them. That's way we can create a sustainable model for us, as well as can create a plethora of a big community of creators across multiple communities.
Thanks. Samir, you want to add to that?
So guys, for us, it's a bit different, because we're already sitting on a very established, sales process. So it's a very simple thing. I'm breaking it up into two parts. Part one, the immediate ones that we are seeing in truckloads is the fact that we can start doing monetization with brand associations. I think that's the easy one. And I think courtesy the top creators that we've already, empaneled and the kind of traction we are seeing, it's very organic for brands to seek those creators out and hence come to, Josh. The good part is that you also, kind of do the Gadbandhan there also, which is not only do they get support on Josh, but you also have Daily Hunt. So that's the first shortcut. The longer arc, I would say, is influencer commerce. I think that's something that, again, I think we have started dipping our hands in. Without again taking names, I think there are a clutch of brands who've already reached out to us saying, with your top end creators, can we start pushing the boundaries? Can we start looking at them to create their own products? And I think it's an organic fit. Just think of it like this, that any top end celebrity has his or her own clothing line, fashion, perfume line. I think the same is applicable for any of the creators that are currently there on Josh. And I think that's a very, very natural extension of what we're wanting to do. So for us, I think short-term brand associations, I think that's a no-brainer. And long-term, I think influencer commerce, I think, and there is more than enough early traction on both of those. But I think just one final comment on this. I think the trick here will not be that, what we can start off with, okay? Because a lot of brands, because the space is new, will want to experiment. But the real thing would be to drive traction continuously and be able to deliver monetization over the long term. I think that will separate the men from the boys, according to us.
Interesting. Devika?
So I'm hearing two common themes, and that's true for us as well. One is the importance of monetization, and the second is, the tech to empower creators to be able to put out the best content possible and obviously create a world-class platform, right? That holds true for us as well. I think what we're also focusing on, in addition to that, one is the fact that, we are running a lot of engagement programs for our influencers, which, reward them, not just in terms of getting followers, etc., but also have monetary aspects attached to that. And I think that's been one of the key contributing success factors for us. The second is that we're creating and promoting a lot of original content on Reposo. For example, we ran a campaign called Pride of India, which runs till the end of the year. We're running an original cricket-based show with Danish Seth, and that adds not just to user engagement, but also encourages more and more creators to come forward and participate. And finally, I think what also works for us is the fact that our content discovery engine focuses not just on popular content, and this is the tech part for us, but we are fairly democratic and merit based in terms of the kind of content we promote. So any content recommendation is based not just on its popularity but also on its user preference, and the marriage of these two aspects helps a lot of diverse creators get visibility and followers. So I think these three things that we've been working on over the last 8 to 10 months have worked very well for us and are yielding results.
Thanks, Devika. Manish?
So Uday, given the fact that we've been around for some time now as the music streaming platform, and the fact that the size of the platform and the multiples of millions of users which is there playing billions of songs, I think the clear input in terms of having a very wide mesh of recommendation to go back to the users, I think the platform already has, and what we're doing now is really building upon it. I would really not harp much on this one. On the content creator side, which really, as I understand, the more important crux of the thing as we go along. When we launched, we did not launch only with a user-focused strategy. There were around 500, 600 artists who straight away kind of came on board with us right in the starting. And so the top bar was really kind of stacked up for us. What we're doing now is that we are creating a content engagement platform, which becomes active and which I would not say rewards them, but kind of keeps them gainfully engaged, because that's the simple point from it. And I think as the game keeps on going ahead, we would definitely believe that the benefits should start accruing to people. What I would agree with what Samir was saying earlier, that this clearly is not something that will play out in the course of a few weeks or a few months. This is something that will have to play out for long. And I think the good thing in our case is that we are really not bound by creating and definitely showcasing to someone a business case related to only one specific part of the business. Yeah. The whole strength of the fact that there are so many users and so many artists and so many people on the platform, that whole thing gives us a bit of a avenue to say that, okay, this is not a point where we want to really monetize and we want to move ahead. We could monetize pretty much anytime we want, but we really want to get the whole product and the whole experience right. Once that kind of moves in, then I think it's the best time when we start monetizing it.
Thanks, Manish. Abhishek?
Uday, if you ask me, the fundamental difference between the short video app and the rest of the entertainment apps or platforms, while the other OTT platforms or the other entertainment OTT platforms, the invite is one to many. Okay, but in the short video app ecosystem, the invite is many to many. So what I mean from this is, on one hand,
please explain this for simple people like me. It went over the head. So.
Okay, so what I mean is, on one hand, you have the responsibility to attract the creators and the creative guys to come on your platform, and on the other hand, you also have to attract the users, the consumers, and the viewers to come on the platform, which does not happen in any other entertainment play. Now, if that happens, advertising needs to be native, and it needs to be it needs to add to the experience rather than taking away from the experience. So when I'm saying it needs to be in line with what a certain creator or a community of creators are speaking about, and what a certain community of users or viewers are engaging with that content. If the advertising is not in sync with these two conversations, then it sticks out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
And as soon as that happens, your engagement and your viewership and your user base falls. And I mean, let me be very honest, the days of exclusivity are gone. You know, I mean, everyone who has a tech platform and anyone who aspires to be in the B2C consumer space can get, I mean, the rules of the game have changed. It is not like an OTT platform where the content is expensive, hence there is a very strong entry barrier. Here it's a UGC platform, and MX has leveraged it on two counts. One is the brand MX. Unlike everyone else on this panel, we have stuck to MX Takatak. We have, I mean, we could have named it only Takatak, but we wanted to leverage on the strong brand MX. That's number one. Number two, even though we have opened up advertising, we are very careful of not to spoil the user experience. It should not come in between someone enjoying what he's wanting to do there. So these are the two basic things that we are cognizant about. And yeah, I mean, like all of us, we will work towards it.
So I'm opening up now one conversation that, you know, anybody can step in now. My point is, you know, we are hearing various monetization conversations here. You know, obviously the second half we've heard monetization, advertising. Now, I want to open this up to say, what kind of ad formats or monetization formats will we see? Obviously there's no subscription in this, but if this is going to be driven by advertising or commerce or whatever is going to be driven, what kind of formats are we going to see in the near future and maybe in the long term? So, you know, let's also take a moonshot and say, this is what we think advertising or monetization could be, because that monetization is obviously going to feed the micro entrepreneurs, as Shivang calls them, to make some money at the end of the day. So can we, you know, open up this to say what kind of monetization formats, ad formats, commercial formats, commerce formats will come through? Any ideas?
Yeah, I would like to answer that. So first of all, I mean, the communication of or advertisement that has been in the legacy world has been more one way. And, you know, publisher or advertiser, they showcase what they want to see, and the consumer, they just see it. What we see is the advertisement of the future world will be two-way communication, and the future advertisement will be creator driven, and the advertisers would just be enabler of it. So of course that's the vision we are working with, and it should be ultimately the beneficiary should be a consumer and should be driven. Beneficiary is the creator and should be driven by the creator. So that's our idea on it.
So I would like to add to that. So along with the UGC ads, which is the two-way ads, that Shivank is obviously talking about. I think short video platforms have a very interesting way of running performance-based ads, especially because we can just swipe up and after let's say 5 or 10 swipes, there is an ad. There can be a ad placement which can help brands to run performance-based ads where they can measure it could be a CPA or a CPA, a CPS or a CPI, in any kind of performance ads. And this platform type performs the best ability for that. So very native integration of videos or text-based ads along with the video stream, along with the video feed. Would be I think a big way to monetize in future, especially at Chingari.
Uday, see, when does a platform start to monetize? And how does it monetize? A platform starts to monetize based on how big the assets are, right? And how much you are willing to monetize on those assets. The short video platforms, the biggest asset that we have is the content creator and the millions of content creators that we have, and hence the obscene amount of reach that we can generate for an advertiser or for the content creator, or in terms of entertainment to the viewer. And these are the three things that we need to keep in mind when we start to have monetization conversations. Like for example, tech platforms or distribution platforms anyone can have, but the sole strength of a platform will always be what are the creators doing on your platform and how are they being consumed. As soon as the advertiser or the brand or the agency understands that fact, then maybe not in the short term, but in the long term, a year and a half from now, I definitely see brands making brand or launching brands in the short video format, which has still not happened in the OTT ecosystem.
I mean, right now, are we assuming that most of the ads that are coming or whatever monetization is happening today on short video is performance advertising? Is that right?
Most of it.
No.
Most of it.
Agree. Not for us. Not for us.
Not for us either. Not for us either.
Is it a lot to do with brand advertising? It's not CPA of any sort, or
it's good old fashioned brand advertising. That's one.
Okay.
And
I think what is going to happen, and I'm speaking as an advertiser. See, for a long time, the big advertisers have been looking for reach. This platform has the ability to give them reach. At the end of the day, they're trying to buy in bulk. They're trying to optimize on what is the cost per impression or cost per reach that they're getting. This will definitely interest them, which is one. But the biggest grouse they've always had is, do I know whether this works for me or not? The beauty of this platform, this allows you to measure that. So I think there is a huge opportunity for all the big advertisers to really look at that. How much would they be able to allow the creator to take control of a creative related to their brands is something that is debatable from a brand to brand. The more interesting thing is that there is massive segmentation that is possible in this one, which basically means that someone who's coming with a smaller ticket size is also interested. So I would honestly say this landscape can be a boon for advertising, and it can really shake up a lot of other traditional modes of advertising in a very, very big manner. And to not name the incumbent, but when the big player who's now not there, we were seeing that there was really value in that, right? In the comparative pricing, they were also very aggressive. So I think the ability to generate monetization for the platform at scale, at a small ticket size, at cuts at monetization remains immensely possible. And I think each and everyone would be interested. The only question remains is how much freedom do you give back to your content creator, and how much confidence do you have in moderating that to be shown to the world?
Right. So some of the questions that are coming, sorry, I just have some questions which have come on the chat and on Q&A. Obviously, some of the questions, and I'll take some of the questions together, they're all around asking us questions around what happens if TikTok comes back, what happens in case, has this opportunity got created only because TikTok is out, or this opportunity won't have been created? And one question that has come in specifically for Abhishek, that is Takatak very close to TikTok? So yeah, I'm just trying to put it out there. Can everybody please take a shot at them?
So, I mean, if I go first, I'll say, I mean, I think the market's big enough for one, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 serious guys. I think that's the first part. And I think there is more than enough juice here. I think incumbent or no incumbent, I think the opportunity is there. And I think the real thing will be the long-term performance of this. And, it's still 60 days, give or take 30 for half of the guys here, barring Mitro and Chingari. I think the real trick will be to see how we perform 6 months, 12 months, 18 months from here. And I think eventually it will be the culmination of all three. You cannot run this business without creators. You cannot run this business without music. You cannot run this business without consumers, the way Abhishek clearly mentioned. And even if you have all of this, you still need somebody to, pay you for all of that, which is without the advertising. So,
and do you see a threat, Samir? Do you see a threat, for example, of somebody like a Facebook or a YouTube taking this market completely away, or TikTok coming back?
No, I mean, as I said, let's be honest, Facebook is there in some form and manner right now, correct? YouTube is there. Okay, so I don't think I'm worried about the incumbent in any form and manner. It's about what we want to do as an ecosystem. That's the first part. And I think eventually, we run a scale platform. We know how to deliver AI, ML at that scale. We know languages, we know content. I think eventually the mix is there. It's all about getting the execution spot on, which I think a lot of us are now getting really deeply involved.
I think I just like to add one point to that, which is that, while there are overlaps in what each of these apps brings to, a user, I think over time there will also be, more niches that get carved out for each of the app with respect to the content or creators or the, the campaigns that they run, the kind of programs they host. And there, like Samir said, there is the space for multiple players to exist. So if TikTok comes back, yes, there will be a short-term impact, but in the long term, there will be multiple players that exist. And I think users are already finding value in multiple such apps that they're already using, and we're getting that feedback very clearly.
Yeah, but if you really look at the multiple app scenario, and this is a tough question, but if you look at the multiple app scenario, then it breaks the whole story of saying we can give you reach, because you'll really not be able to give reach because it will have the same problem of fragmentation, and there are 20 apps there and each one has their own little niche. So it breaks the story of, with one large app and an aggregated app that was possible, but with a fragmented situation, will we be able to create enough value for an advertiser or for a brand?
Can I answer that? Can I answer that?
Yeah, sure. Anybody.
So, essentially, think of this period as dating. Okay, before you get married. So a user will date. He will speed date 5 or 6 apps before he decides which one he wants to get married to. So that's the long and short of it. That's where that conversation will be separating the men from the boys. So right now you will go through 4 or 5 because you're still building out brand. You're still building out feed. Your EIML algorithms are still kicking in, learning. And as this settles and as the scale starts hitting, I think you'll clearly see a polarization. There'll be a pack of top 3 and there'll be a pack of bottom 3. I think that's the broad sense of it.
Abhishek, what do you think? Is there a challenge on breakup? Because you've seen this in the OTT space where, there was a significant breakup of audiences among the 4 or 5 advertising-driven OTTs.
See, Uday, my experience in the entertainment ecosystem over the last 11, 12 years has been, people don't follow platforms, they follow brands and they follow influencers and they follow content, right? For example, the reason why everyone is gunning for the top influencers or the second tier influencers, exclusivity on the platform, is because they come with their own set of followers. They have their own fan following. As soon as you have them on board, for example, we just onboarded Badsha, one such influencer. He comes with his own set. Now, and that is exactly why Instagram and Reels, that is the entire business model of that platform. Now, if you are able to leverage the supply side, then the demand side will always be there. Absolutely. And like we used to say in the past, that the phone space is not there. Why so many apps? That's not the case anymore. It is not longer a fight. It is no longer a fight for the space on the phone. It is a fight on the space in the mind.
Yeah.
Now, if you are able to build a sustainable brand over the next 6 months or a year and to give value to that brand, then I don't see, there's a challenge of someone coming back or it being a 20-player market or whatever, because everyone will find its own set of users, its own reach and its own engagement. And coming back to the other question that was targeted to me, no, it is not inspired by TikTok. The play button was always there on MX Player mother app, and we have just adopted the play button. The blur is a creative inspiration from someone else. That is it.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I would like
one last question. I think it's relevant for this category. And that's a question that has come from one of the audience. That is cringeworthy content or cringe content a problem? Is that a thing of the past? Will people still go after it to bring in consumers? And cringe content is probably the politest way I can say it.
No one does it on purpose. See, let us understand that it is UGC. Even YouTube, when it started, it gained popularity, on cringe-worthy content. No one does it on purpose. but how strong the processes and systems are, that what will define what your platform stands for.
Yeah, I think the point is, are we serious to get cringe content out of the system?
Of course.
Absolutely.
I think
Absolutely.
then I think we are very clear that this is not the way to success, or this is not the way to get your first 10, 15 million users.
That's right.
I think what is also happening is that the presence of cringeworthy content also indicates towards the thing that there is this urge to really get a lot of users in very short time. And I think it's again slightly myopic in thinking that a cringe content can really have and keep users for you for a sustainable longer time. I think that's what it is reflecting of, but in the long run, I don't think this is gonna satiate, because I think there are different levels of cringe, and a lot of people could translate and move to different levels of cringe, and there is definitely bodies who will come back to attack on this one. So I think it's a short-term response sometimes to make people come to your platform, but they won't really be there for long, inherently or systemically as well.
We have a very, very strong policy against it. Like I said, we have a 2-step content check process before it gets published on the app. And we follow that for every piece of content that we publish. So we are definitely not in favor of this. And we want content to be family friendly, to be clean. And frankly, that's a huge asset from a monetization perspective as well. We've created an app which is absolutely brand safe. And that's not a concern we follow. We face at all from an advertiser perspective. So I definitely, we're very clear that this is an area we want to steer clear of.
Yeah,
thank you very much. I think there are lots of reminders now on the chat for me to pack up. Thank you very much, all of you. It's been a great learning for me personally, and I'm feeling so much more learned today, and I probably have a halo around my head. But thank you so much, all of you. Hopefully we'll connect some other time.
Today you must download our apps and see what is happening in the ecosystem right now.
Done.
He has time to do that at the beach.
Done. Thank you, Abhishek.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Thanks.
Bye, guys.
Thanks. Bye.